Welcome to the bold analysis. I have taken a deep dive on how Raila Odinga outplayed William Ruto to ensure that they hold a rally in Lodwar town. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our video. And in an exclusive report that I've gathered, the committee that was organizing Tubong Lore had already lined up Raila Odinga actually to be the person that was supposed to open that cultural festival. So actually Raila was supposed to be there yesterday, and this was arrived at way back because they started organizing this cultural festival way back in, I think that was in February. So there was a time, there was a little bit of the leadership, like the governor was still on the other side, was still supporting Azimio la Umoja. But the state hacked it after they injected their own muscles there. And William Ruto then decided to open it. So that's why William Ruto was there yesterday. And so at the end of the day, actually Raila Odinga was locked out. Remember, the reason why the organizers were inviting Raila is because he was one of the founders of that festival with Nanok. And he helped Nanok to fundraise for the first festival that was held, that of Tubong Lore. So he was deep into it until the state came in. So when he was locked out, and I think the reason why he was being locked out is because they didn't want, of course they didn't want opposition visibility. They didn't want to give Azimio la Umoja visibility. It was not for any other reason. So William Ruto decided to go yesterday and then held closed-door meetings with the leaders and successfully marshaled the leaders to cross over from the ODM to the UDA side. That's where the government, the UDA governor, that's where the governor crossed over to the other side. So what Raila did, Raila decided to go. And of course informed the organizers, and of course there was some division amongst them because they didn't have a guest today actually. And Gachagua is supposed to be tomorrow on Saturday actually to close the session. So remember what had happened here is there was a bit of division. There was a section that actually, because Raila had informed them and they knew Raila was going there, but those who had said no. But remember, there was no schedule for today. Today they were just supposed to do that and miss Turkana. Then tomorrow they will close it. So there was no clear schedule on it. And Raila informed part of the organizers who knew about it, including the governor. That is what Raila Odinga's team are saying. The governor knew about it, even though he was trying to play in the camera that he didn't know anything. So the governor knew that Raila was going there. But I think after, and when they realized, because when Raila called, they knew Raila was already at the airport with the team. And what they did, the organizers, those who were already there, a section that did not want, then planted their own proxies. And that's why you see the women that UDMCA that went there. And I'm told they were already placed strategic and how they were going to speak immediately before immediate Raila arrives. So what Raila did, Raila went through Lodwar town, and on his way he gathered audience. He gathered the audience and he stormed the event with already the audience. You know, he didn't take any mobilization. Just went there, already there is a convoy. They know Raila Odinga is someone they've known before. And the convoy escorted him to the venue. So when they arrived in the venue, of course, everything was organized and the sitting arrangement, and they were put on everything the way everything was supposed to be done. But again, he caught them off guard And part of the governor's team, who had already pledged some allegiance to William Ruto yesterday, and were already thinking like now, having worked with William Ruto is the best thing that has ever happened for Turkana, they decided to play the gimmick of making sure that Raila doesn't speak. But who is Raila? Who is Raila? And immediately they caused the drama. He was whisked away by the security and went back and drove away to Lodwar town. And when he went to Lodwar town, the crowd that was already at that event, he left the venue with the crowd. So even the governor, all those leaders who were there, I want you to imagine that Raila goes there and Raila leaves. Who is going to remain there? So actually Raila went, and the only difference is that he never addressed the crowd in the venue. But immediately left, he left with the whole crowd. And there was nothing else. The leaders that were stopping him from talking remained there alone. There was no one. And at one point, and you'll even see some of these videos, if you look at this video, you realize that there was even some altercation because the police were trying to block the young people that were following the convoy. And that's what brought the confrontation that they didn't even want. And if you look at the rallies they did in Lodwar town, it was massive. And successfully, he managed to capitalize on that misfortune, because remember, immediately it happened, it spread so fast, like bushfire. And already there's a point that Raila was there, but there are some leaders that have already misbehaved with him. And so when he was coming to Lodwar town, he was coming to Lodwar town with already some curiosity had been built around. There was already some curiosity, some anxiety around Lodwar, like what exactly had happened. And of course, people also now wanted to hear, what is he going to say of what had happened in that event? So I know very well that the government side, the Kenya Kwanza side, did not want Raila Odinga, and they do not want the Azimio team to get visibility in public. And it's for some reasons that I'm going to explain. But at the end of the day, I think Raila never addressed the crowd at where the cultural event was going on, but he managed to hold a rally in Lodwar town. And because of the government gimmick of blocking him, they already gave him a gig. They already created anxiety and some curiosity about his presence in Turkana. But then even many people who are around this place know very well, people who even were not even from Turkana, now happen to know that Raila was in Turkana. And it is not, nowadays, it's not something that requires magical science to just interpret and see that it is some state forces that were blocking his way to speak in that event. But ultimately, he managed to come back and speak in Lodwar town, where he addressed the roadside rally, and he had already gathered the crowd because he picked the crowd from the event and came all the way to the place where they were addressing, and he addressed the rally before then picking a flight back to Nairobi. So ladies and gentlemen, this is something that I think he decided that come away. And remember, some attempts by Raila Odinga to hold even rallies have been, especially in some areas, have been frustrated. I remember in Kiambu, William Ruto would want a situation where he's encroaching and making forests, using all the state powers to make forests in Azimio zones, but will not want and want to stifle the possibility of Azimio getting to campaign in, and of course that's not even the stronghold, getting to campaign in some areas. And this is a very bad message. This is a very bad signal that in the next politics we're going to have, there is something I am seeing, that Kenya Kwanza is going to be out to use the state machinery to frustrate opposition campaigns. I don't know whether this is about Raila. There have been clamor for Kalonzo to vie, and I wish it is actualized. And I want to see whether the kind of treatment that they've been given to Raila, that harsh treatment, is going to be meted on Kalonzo Musyoka. I'm really going to look at how that will actually play out. So there is a very big possibility there that some people did not want it to happen. Number two, something I'm making from also the Turkana drama is that William Ruto would not want his messaging to be countered. And I don't know why. I think he has become scared of criticism, especially ground criticism, especially on field. Because Azimio have been criticizing him in the press briefings and they've not been doing a rebuttal. But when he's going after, especially in the field, they will not want that. I think that is something that is there. Lastly, Azimio team are consolidating, and there is a possibility that their security, there is a threat, state-managed threat on the security of these leaders to affect their mobility. So some of these things are being state-managed so that security will be compromised, so that political mobility will be stifled. Those are the three issues I'm seeing there. It is wrong, it is backward for us to get to that. Because what did he have to take? Even if Raila was not officially invited there, but the governor invited all Kenyans. So even me, I could even go there. If I wanted to learn Turkana culture, I would as well go there. So Raila is just like any other Kenyan again, who is also allowed to go there. You know. And to say the truth, William Ruto is the government. Raila is on the other side. So do you think Raila was going to solve the problems that those leaders were saying there? No. They had what they could do as Azimio, but there is what government do. So yesterday they met Ruto. On Sunday there's going to be Rigathi Gachagua. There are things they're going to tell Rigathi Gachagua. And I can tell you that give them time. There is a trend that those who have been clapping and making the loudest noise will be the ones that will be crying. Remember when fuel crisis will hit Lodwar town, they will remember the day. And even some petrol stations were, not even petrol stations were even, is it locked? You know, they locked so that people will not fuel their, you know, the borders and move. I'm telling you. Thank you guys.